Cosmic chaos and immortals arise in this tale from the stars.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? I'm Lloyd.
And I'm Natasha with
Midnight
Midnight
Comics.
Comics, and welcome back to another episode of
What we're reading. And today, as she just said, we're reading Tales of the Stars.
Presents Talasha of the Stars.
Yes, by CNS Comics.
AKA Wilson Lee.
Yes, so awesome story. So it's 5 issues out.
Currently.
I think 6 is on Patreon.
I'm going to say, unless you're on Patreon, and you get number 6.
Right, man.
Lucky.
Man, right. But man, okay. So we kind of pick up with her just being formed in the universe. We see her
right.
from
Yeah.
birth.
Issue 1 is her just
Origin story.
essentially the universe just spoke her
Into it.
to exist, and she's an immortal being.
Mm-hmm. Which, right, and usually when you see in stories talking about like immortals and stuff like that, you don't really get a chance to see the birth of said immortal. So in case we didn't say that initially, she is an immortal entity. Yeah, you did say that. So she can't age or anything like that. But yeah,
she can't die.
Right, but what we see after this birth is really just her getting ready to explore what the universe consists of, which is pretty neat. She ends up on this one planet full of golden trees and stuff like that, and it's just like, this is the most beautiful thing ever. And then like takes a nap for like 50 years, and it's just like, what?
She wakes up, she goes explores, she finds a beautiful planet, she goes to sleep for years, and then she wakes up.
Right. I love it.
It's nice though.
It's really nice to see that. There's so many time skips in there, but I love it because it's like this actual passage of time, like when she's traveling through space. Yeah. She's not moving through these planets, through the universe instantaneously. So she goes through centuries, really, of existence in the course of these 5 books, but it doesn't feel like centuries long.
But you also can feel the passage
at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So even she ends up in this one place, and I won't spoil that portion. I think it's issue 3 or 4. She ends up in one spot for like 10 years. She goes there for like one thing, and it's there for like 10 years, and it's just like, whoa. But again, it doesn't feel like this passage of time, but you gather it again. For you reading, it doesn't feel like like a slog fest or anything like that. But in the time frame of the story, you're like, dang, she really been there for a second. But she's learning throughout the process.
It actually depends on who you are as a person.
Okay.
Because my warning with this story is always, if you don't like to read, this is probably not the comic for you.
Okay.
It is very wordy.
Mm-hmm.
For a comic especially, it's very wordy. There's a lot of words, there's a lot of narration, there's a lot of dialogue, there's a lot of story.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like reading a novel piece by piece, but the novel is beautifully illustrated along the way instead of staring at boring pages the whole time.
Okay, I like that description. Yeah,
I personally like it because it's a great story and it keeps me keeps me intrigued and it keeps me entertained and interested, and I always want more when I'm done. Mm-hmm. So especially as an avid reader, but also because the story is so good, I don't mind reading it. Mm-hmm. But I know there are people who pick up comics and they don't want words. Yeah,
they want the pictures to do it. But yeah, it can't be words. You get so much of the universe in this story. Again, between issues 1 and 5, centuries have passed, right? And you're just like, whoa, she's done a lot, right? And so that's the thing that.
She ain't done nothing.
But she hasn't, right? She hasn't been fully realized yet. At the same time, so I love that. I love being able to go on the journey with the character. We talk about this quite often when we talk about like traditional comics versus the manga. Traditional comics, a lot of the time, you're right in the action. They're doing this, been doing it for a while, and then later on we catch you up with an origin story. Manga style, you're going again. One that I have to bring up is like in My Hero Academia, Naruto, stuff like that. You go on the journey with them, and I really love that we're getting an immortal now.
Journey to the West.
Right, journey to the West. We have an immortal that we're actually picking up with at, I can't necessarily say the dawn of time because there's a lot of history, but at birth, and we're seeing the stuff that she's confused by, the things that she doesn't understand, and her learning about these things along the way. So definitely love it. Definitely recommend this.
And along the way, she meets an amazing, colorful, figuratively and literally cast of characters.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
All the characters that she runs into are entertaining in some way. They're very unique, and of course, she's out traversing the universe, so it's not just human. Actually,
there's no single human. Right, she's the only traditional humanoid I think we've seen.
But she's also not human
at all.
But she's very humanoid. A lot of the other species are also humanoid, as in they're bipedal, sometimes 2 eyes, sometimes 2 arms. But that's about it.
Right. And I like, so one of the species that she runs into is actually part of a spin-off series as well that came forth after this called The Captains. So definitely, again, check out CNS Comics, check out Talasha, check out The Captains. That species, they are in I think from issue 4 on. No, 3 on. 3 on. So, yeah, I love the cast of characters. I love the relationship. I love the all that these, like, especially in issue 5, that these characters have with her existence. Like, what are you, right? Because she comes from, obviously, she's coming from
curiosity.
Her curiosity, right?
And the things she discovers as she goes on, because there is this whole history of the world from before she came into existence that she's learning about, and that now she has to face, despite the fact that she wasn't even there.
Right. Her abilities and powers, which I don't know if I want them to kind of experience some of that, but she's impressively strong.
Definitely the OP character, but OP character that has to learn to get to that level where she is unbeatable, because she is not unbeatable.
Right, yeah, okay. So, kind of like when not even going to have to elaborate on that. OP, but not unbeatable, right? If you throw her in a different verse, though, they're going to have some problems. But in her own verse, yeah, like, although she's immortal, she's got very impressive super strength, and I don't want to get too breakdowny in this, but she's got super strength, she can fly.
She's got the basics.
She's got,
and then some.
Right. But what she does, she's not moving at ridiculous speeds. Maybe, of course, super speed in comparison to us. But again, like we talked about with that traversal throughout the universe, she's not flying at irrelevant speeds, if you would.
Even her one friend who's constantly with her is like, even you, this is gonna take you 6 months to get over there.
Right. So
she's like, I'll make it in half the time.
Right. And they made it in a day and a half. But yeah, so yeah, very powerful, can do a lot of things, but the threat in this universe, that you just gotta read it. The threat in this universe, massive.
Because not only is she not the only immortal, the immortals were of course created by, I guess we say, the stars.
The stars.
Tales of the Stars. By the stars, and the stars had a whole bunch of other stuff going on. And then there's other beings out there that are on the same level as them, and it's just a whole cacophony of symphonic harmony and beauty in the story.
And you know what? The artwork has been great the whole way through.
It's beautiful. 5
and the preview of 6 definitely took it up a notch. Her new look in 5. Anyway, that's all I will say on that. Absolutely outstanding story. Check out Wilson Lee. Check out CNS Comics. All the information is going to be down below.
We are Midnight Comics.
There we go.
Of course, you can get all of our stuff if you visit midnightcomics.org, where we have comics, posters, we have bundles, and all kinds of other stuff.
So definitely check that out, of course, midnightcomics.org. And check out our Patreon, where we have our What If Wednesdays, our Community Character Creation Night, and of course our Indie Breakdown and Indie Versus series on there. So definitely check all that stuff out.
And also don't forget to check us out on all our various social media, where we are Midnight X Comics everywhere except for Facebook.
And YouTube.
We're on YouTube.
Why do I do that every time? And remember, until next time, everybody, midnight is coming. I do that every time. And YouTube. Oh, just in case this is on
summer night.
Emotion.
Summer night. She left me so late, should've spent the night. No need to hit follies, I'm working her body out. Said she in love with the fitness type.